That's probably right, Brian. Yes, Deborah, we record every one of these sessions. They're in our huge library. We got a big old library. Is the same topic tonight the same? Yes, this is Monday. We start a new group of fast track folks, but you'll never hear me teach it the same way. Lisa says forever victorious. I like it. Have y'all ever heard me teach the same lesson twice? Might be around the same information, but we teach it from the heart. If you're new here, I'm the founder of the program. My name's Travis Martin. I'm a 20-year accidental veteran of the weight loss and wellness industry, seeking other accidental victims because I need coaches. We need coaches. We need coaches so bad. We need willing and wanting hearts to go into the little vineyard and go to work. We have the very best program on planet Earth. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Just because my name's attached to it does not mean that I take credit for it. The Lord Jesus Christ used this program to change my life, get me out of religion, get me into the Spirit. Did so much with this program, helped me to walk more in the Spirit, so that I could live more in love, joy, peace, patience, gentleness, goodness, meekness, temperance, and faith. And now for him to take this program and change hundreds of thousands of lives, I guess I can say that, best we can tell, in the 20 years, a little over 250,000 people have went through the programs. So blessed be the name of the Lord. And if any good thing's been accomplished, we'll bow our unworthy head and give him the praise for it all. If you're new here, this is different. Just because we talk about Jesus, I want you to know that we feel like folks have been let down. I'm certain I'm part of the problem, but we're here to love people, to accept people, to push people to be their best and do their best. But you found a safe place. My wife, when we were coming up with our core values in 2013 for the new venture, she said, please make sure you put in there somewhere. I never knew this was a problem. And we'll get to the lesson shortly. I never knew this was a problem. And by hearing her talk about it so emotionally, I'll never forget her saying in our core values, please make sure that you put, we're going to provide a safe place for women. And I said, well, why? Me not being a woman, you know. And she said, well, you wouldn't believe how much in these kind of things it gets very emotional and vulnerable. And women share their hearts. And she said, no offense, husband, but men can often take advantage of women in vulnerable places. And she said, I want everybody to know, if they come here, if husbands send their wives here or wives are here, that they're in a safe place. And we pride ourselves on that, that we're trying to create a safe place. Was Sasha right about that? Is that a real issue for women? And, you know, that we want to maintain the safety, safe place for women to be vulnerable with each other, to share their hearts with each other, but to be lifted up by each other. I think y'all need that so much. And I know men folks do. Me and Bryant and Aaron, we're working on a program for just men. Not that women couldn't come, but it's more of a having instead of comforting other men, we feel like we need to be confronted. Y'all get that? We need to be confronted, not in a mean way, but to remind men of what they're capable of and how to lead their homes and take care of their own selves, their own bodies, and take care of those that are in their household. We're starting a weight loss challenge for men only. Women can watch and even join. We won't tell you can't join, but this particular one, we do so much for women here This particular one's going to be for men. And us boys have already started talking about it. We're gonna call it the 4 Horsemen. We're gonna have some good fun with that, but lots of good things going on Planet Shibboleth. Today is the start of our fast track program. If you're new here, there's a lot to take into consideration. So let me see if Liza, I know Sasha's out front working with a client right now. Let me see if Liza's with me. Yeah, Liza, could you, in constant contact, could you get the link with all the meal ideas for fast track? Do you know what I'm talking about, sis? Y'all, big round of applause for Lara and Liza. Big round of applause for Lara and Liza. They're from the Philippines. We don't know how blessed we are here. Those 2 sisters have been helping me for 5 years. They prefer to be behind the scenes, and they're a little shy, but they are amazing women, and they're taking more of a role here. In fact, if you're interested in joining the wellness company with us and becoming a health coach, please let us know if you join. If you don't mind being on their team, it will contribute to their families. They don't have what we have here, but they're richer in faith than I'll ever be. They amaze me every day at their love for Christ, their love for y'all. But if you're one of those that's waiting to become a member of the wellness company and you don't mind being on their team, it will contribute to their household and just their overall situation. They don't make what we make here. So just a thought, if that were to come up where you're wanting to join. Now, if you've already joined, you can't go back and redo it, but there'll be plenty more people joining the wellness company with us. And those that are willing, when I say willing, it takes about 48 hours to get it approved because they're in the Philippines. Same benefits, still on my team, but it sure would be a blessing to them. How about this, y'all? Lara's only a couple of people away from being a director in the wellness company. How about a big round of applause for Lara, y'all? That will really help her. And then we got to help Liza get to director. All right, y'all, let's take a look at that link there. I'm going to pull this up first. If you're new, let's go. Everybody that doesn't have access to it, this is where we start. Now, here's what we'll be doing, everyone. We're going to go through the fast track system that helped me lose 44 pounds in less than 6 weeks, helped me lose over 100 pounds in less than 6 months. Is there anybody here that sounds like that's pretty good? Does that sound pretty good to anybody? Shoot, 44 pounds in less than 6 weeks. How about this? Do we have any new folks? Because I was a big boy. Is there anybody here that you'd be happy in your first month if you could drop 10% of your beginning body weight? In other words, if you're 250, that's 25. Would that be would that make you happy? I love to make people happy. Somebody called me the other day a people pleaser. And, that's considered an insult to be called a people pleaser, only if you take it as an insult. I want to say thank you very much. I appreciate that. God changed my mind about that this weekend in prayer. Thank you very much, because God showed me that I would turn my back on all people for Jesus Christ. So that's right. I'm courageous. I do it every day. How many people do y'all know that multiple times a day in live, even when Facebook has almost shadow banned you completely, how many of you would agree with that you know in your heart that Travis Martin may be a lot of things, but that boy is going to keep talking about Jesus and no matter what. So when somebody called me a people pleaser this weekend, I said, thank you. I love to please God's children. Y'all know that about me too, you rascals, don't you? Y'all know sometimes y'all might use it against me a little bit too, but I know that you love me and I love you. So I love pleasing God's children. So this week, I want you're beginning with me today on Monday. Now, by Thursday, I want you to be able to earn my fast track badge. That fast track badge has helped people by earning it. People have lost and recorded. We'll never know the unrecorded pounds lost, but lost and recorded millions and millions of pounds lost, millions of inches lost. Bless the name of the Lord. What did we do to lose that weight? We followed the Shibboleth Shield. Now, if you're new here, we're going to get into teaching you why it's so effective, why it's so important. But this is your document. This is your starting document. And I want you to go through it thoroughly, okay? It goes over what a Shibboleth perfect day is. And we want to do our best one day at a time to live out the shield. Now, it doesn't give you all the details because this is a lifestyle. When folks have asked me for just a meal plan, I go, here you go. Here's a meal plan. But let me pause there for a minute before we get into the nutrition aspects of today's lesson. How many diets, just throw some numbers out, those of you not driving or not at work, how many diets have you tried trying to lose this weight? I tried, I know, more than 20 before Shibboleth. Did they all have meal plans? Did they all have books? Did any of that work for you? It didn't work. The things that have been meaningful in my life were taught to me face to face, voice to voice, heart to heart, from my youth up. My mom, my dad, intimate friends that cared about me. Real stuff, real change, real understanding, real knowledge is handed down, isn't it? It's handed from one heart to the next. And the reason that, and we get a lot of chastisement over it, the reason we have all of these live classes and we try to make ourselves available almost 24/7 is because we look at it like we're a family. And we're here to impart knowledge and wisdom to you so that you can vacate the ridiculousness that's going out in the world, the diet mentality. The first three letters of the word diet spelled die. Anything we start with and can't stay with forever is just a waste of our time. We need a practical, sustainable, and fun program. And what I'm doing is handing to you, and others, I hope, have become more experienced in Shibboleth, and they're helping you. And we're person by person, we are teaching a proper lifestyle, one that honors your temple, one that honors God, and is more powerful than any pharmaceutical that you can take, any weight loss surgery you can undergo, doesn't cost anything, has no negative consequences. Why wouldn't the world want to do this? So I hope by the end of the week that you, if you're brand new, that you decide to join our movement. Now, what I'm giving you has not been free for me. It's cost me so much that if I talk about it, I will begin to cry. I never knew that I would invest millions and millions and millions of dollars into something to help people that's virtually free and end up in massive debt too. But we can't stop. Sasha and I can't stop because we believe that what we're doing is what God would have us to do. And we believe that it's not only changing lives, but it's saving lives. We have literally got letters and or emails from people who, not one, but many, did not commit suicide because of this program, healed their marriage because of this program, got out of an abusive relationship because of this program, ended alcohol addiction, ended drug addiction. It goes on and on and on. If that ain't the Lord, I don't know what is. But once again, we make a call here. If you've looked for purpose your entire life, we need you. If God is calling you to help others, you must first help yourself. And you may have found not only your weight loss and wellness home, you may have found your purpose and calling. So keep your heart open. You don't have to lose all your weight to join us and help people, but you need to be on the journey. Right now, we've got influencers that they're not taking care of themselves. We've got to first take care of ourselves, don't we? So it starts with these little sessions in reading. We have to read. This is not sarcasm. Y'all are being conditioned. We are all being conditioned not to read, not to take our time. It is not an accident. TikTok's not an accident. All of this is purposeful. Look, there is no money in having a healthy society. Do y'all realize that? There's no capitalistic incentives for you to be healthy. There's incentives for you to be a little bit sick, and a little bit weak. Now, Mondays, we always start, I'll come back to this. Mondays, we always start with your why. But I want to say some special things about the why today. Does everybody here know why you want to lose weight? Do you have a big why? I wanted to come off all those prescriptions. I wanted to feel confident in my own skin. I wanted to know what it was like to have self-esteem, self-confidence. I didn't want to wear a size 44 anymore. I had a big why. I wanted to live longer for my kids and set good examples for my kids. I had a lot of reasons to do this. Does anyone here have some reasons to do this that maybe you'll come on screen and share with me? Do we have anybody that would jump on here and share with me your why? If not, you can type it, but let's talk about that because we've got a few new people here, and a thing that begins right will end right. I have a vision board. I use the online vision tracker. I use all kinds of ways to keep my mind focused on the goal and where I'm going. Darla says, confidence to help others because I know it works. Awesome. Yes, Mary, you can go back and earn your fast track badge again, for sure. You can go through as many times as you need. Naomi, reverse type 2 diabetes. Anybody besides me reverse type 2 diabetes? Naomi, after a decade of having type 2, I reversed it in less than a month. And it will happen for you too. Lisa Young, y'all let her hear it. Look at all this. You found home, Naomi. Look at all these people that reverse their type 2 diabetes. Amazing. Look at these whys. Look at these reasons. These are touching and heartfelt reasons. Touching and heartfelt reasons. You got to have a big why. It's got to be greater than temptation. If you have a hard time finding a why, ask yourself why. Who stole your dream? Who let you down? Who do you need to forgive? What do you need to do to feel like this is a new day and a new birth? Jesus told us what we needed to do to experience that new birth and that new name. I love the story of Jacob. Jacob wrestled with the angel, would not let go until the angel blessed him. And then the angel knocked his hip out of joint. And then he was given a new name, a new birth. And the Bible said he never walked the same again. That can happen to each of us this day if we begin to dream again, if we begin to believe again. But you've got to get that going in your mind. So I want to share something the Bible says with you about your why. Are you ready? Well, let me throw this at you real quick. Which one do you say more in your own mind? Y'all ready? Which one do you say more in your own mind? A, I am powerful beyond belief. I am strong and I am disciplined. Or B, I need help. I don't know if I have the discipline to do this and I feel weak. Which one do you say in your head more often? Everybody watch. I love it, Deborah Hamby. You be my sister. Now ask yourself, nobody likes pain. Is there anybody in here that would put your hand in a pot of boiling water because you like pain so much? You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. So why do we create all this pain with the negative self-talk? There's a reason the enemy wants you to touch and agree with the enemy that you are weak. Would God who lives within you ever say, I'm weak, I need help, and I don't have any discipline? He who is within us is greater than he that's in the world. That would never happen. I promise you today, everything that's in your life that's positive, listen carefully, everything in your life that's positive that you adore, it was first created, it was given birth in your mind, and then you spoke it into existence. I'm not one of those manifestors, but what I'm saying is when you speak it, you begin to act on it. And what you speak out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Now stay with me. It's not you that's saying I am weak, but you have touched with the enemy and agreed, and it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You have no choice. If God's word is true, is God's word the truth? We will talk nutrition. Everybody got that link I gave? Let me give it again. Got some folks getting antsy over here because you're new. How much nutrition do we teach, y'all? Do we teach any nutrition here? Liza, would you put that one more time for us? We got some folks antsy. When will we get to the nutrition? I love you, but I'm going to have to love you enough to say, hold on. Okay. Liza or Lara, give them that link so they got something to read, those that don't want to listen to me right now. We teach more nutrition than everybody. Okay. Put all the other coaches combined. I teach more than all of them. That's arrogant. It's true. It ain't arrogant if you can back it up. All right. So it's one thing to know what to do, which I'm going to teach you, but it's another thing to do what you know. And that's what we're talking about right now. This is behavior modification 101 with a faith-based angle. So listen carefully. Those that you harm yourself with negative talk, God's word is truth. Now, is the devil's word truth? What does the Bible say about the devil? The devil's a truth teller. Or does it say he's the father of all lies? Now, when you say that I am weak and I have no discipline, is that a lie or is that the truth? Those of you that answered earlier, I want you to think. I guarantee you, if you are in a room right now and the door was locked or jammed and your babies was in the room next door and it was on fire and you couldn't get through that door, how many of you's making a door? You've got enough determination, one way or the other, you're getting in that room to get your babies or your loved ones. No matter what. So it's a matter of want to. It's not a matter of you don't have discipline. It's a matter, do you want to or not? That's all we're talking about here. Do you want it? If you're not where you want to be with your weight, it's because you don't prefer it. But you're making it harder on yourself with the negative self-talk because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I want you to listen to this. Joel 3:10. Let the weak say, I am strong. Short verse. Hey, Jack, let the weak say they are strong. Why do you think the Bible would tell us to do that? God doesn't lie. So he's saying basically quit saying you're weak. Let the weak say, I am strong. Will y'all practice that today while you're trying to have a Shibboleth perfect day? Would you practice that? Everything good in your life were created ultimately by your words and actions. Everything negative that you don't prefer, when you look in the mirror, if you don't prefer the image staring back at you, it was created with your words. Today, at some point, we have to become aware that this is a habit. It's a bad habit. And we need to laugh and forget. If I slip up and say, I told my wife this morning, I'll be real with you, coming to teach y'all. And I told her, I said, Sasha, I have failed. I feel like a failure, and I am so sorry. Do y'all think that I'm a failure? That thought turned into words. Think about that. The thought turned into the word. And I touched and agreed with the enemy. Now, me feeling that way, will that alter my actions? Will I be less likely to be productive after speaking the words, touching and agreeing with the devil, with the enemy? I'm not a failure at all. But I said that. I'm in the fight with you. It come out of my mouth. Now, I can't control the thought, but wisdom would have been recognized that that thought is of the enemy, and I could have countered that by not speaking it. Am I making sense? I would have won that battle with the enemy if I had allowed the thought but not have spoken. How many of you catch yourself saying things you didn't even mean in an argument? This all has to do with how we eat. You don't even mean it. You don't mean it. You're like, where did that come from? The enemy. The enemy. In the secular world, they'll call it the lower self. I call it the enemy. Doesn't matter to me what you call it. It's what we put too much weight on labels and definitions. It's what the output is. So my flesh, my lower self, the enemy, whatever, I don't want to walk in that. You're not going to be able to walk in your lower self. You're not going to be able to walk in your flesh. You're not going to be able to walk outside of God's love and will and be successful with weight loss. The only way to be successful with weight loss and wellness is to take one day at a time, live a program of efficacy that you can do, and keep a positive mindset. That's the only way it's going to happen. Praying for Tina and Jack. That was very vulnerable for y'all. Tina and Jack. Would y'all pray for Tina and Jack? They've went through so much, y'all. They lost their son in an unthinkable way, and they argue more now than ever since the loss of their son. And we haven't went through that, don't want to, can't imagine what y'all have been through, but I can just imagine what y'all are going through, because Sasha and I, Shibboleth we've put everything into it. When it struggles, we tend to fight. So we totally understand that. I hope everybody here will pray to not to be compared to what you're going through, just trying to find some way to let you know I understand. And it's the man that you love, the woman that he loves. And you don't even know why it's happening, probably, sis. You don't even understand it. It's the enemy. The enemy is vicious and will do anything to get in between y'all during this time. Just remember, a lot of those thoughts that you're having, that's of the enemy. Just don't speak it. Speak power. Speak power. All right. Before I move to the nutrition component, does anyone want to share their why on screen with me? All right. Don't see anybody, so I'm going to go over here and we're going to go through. Today we're doing it a little different. I'm going to do some teaching on the board this week. How many, is there people here? Just give me an idea. You prefer me on the whiteboard, or last week we did it through share screen? I bet y'all like the whiteboard better, don't you? I get all silly. Maybe not, though. I could be wrong. Whiteboard. I free flow a little more on the whiteboard. All right. So this week, you're going to learn how to have a perfect day. Here's your rules. Please take the time to read all this. Okay. Then below, you have example of recipes that I used to lose more than 44 pounds in less than 6 weeks. I went from a size 44 to a size 32. All I did was eat foods that were properly combined like these recipes. Now, these are simple. I don't intend on you having these the rest of your life. In our food library, we have thousands of Shibboleth approved recipes. There's nothing you can't have on Shibboleth. This was, as we're teaching, these are some good recipes for you to look at and start understanding why I put them together the way that I put them together. You'll still have to portion control, but we're going to teach you all that. Okay. All right. Deborah says that men can lose weight quicker, and I struggle no matter what I do. Let's pause there. Deborah, in love, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. Now, stay with me. I've been doing this 20 years. If you look at weight, the weight lost, certainly men are bigger than women. But if you look at a percentage of body weight lost, to this date, I've literally run hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of weight loss challenges. I usually do more than 100 in a year. But I run tons of weight loss. Do you know that I've only had 2 men ever win those challenges based upon a percentage of weight lost? Only 2 men. Every other winner has been a woman. Did y'all hear that? So again, remember what we talked about, Deborah and everyone? The enemy gives us the thought. Y'all, stay with me. Let me ask y'all a question so you can see the enemy at work. By Deborah thinking that and agreeing with that, is she more likely to, I'm not saying she'll quit, but is she more likely to continue or less likely to continue if she feels it's a struggle no matter what she does? And Deborah, there's other people that feel the way you feel. But see, you actually worked against yourself. Now, is it even true? Is it even true? Deborah, can I ask you a question? Maybe everybody give Deborah a round of applause. Let me ask Deborah a question. Deborah, if you lost 2 pounds a week for 1 month, a total of 8 pounds in a month, would you feel like you lost it slow? Okay, that would be fast. So if you're not losing 1% of your body weight each week, then instead of feeling like no matter what you do, it's slow, how about getting a mentor appointment? Because if you're 1% of your body weight each week, I don't know what your beginning weight is. If you want to share it, I'll show you how fast you can get to your goal right now. You may not want to put that out there, and that's okay. She did. Now watch. You should easily be able to lose, Deborah, 2.4 pounds a week for a little while. Okay. Are you having any holidays? Are you journaling? Okay. Do you want me to look at your journal? You want me to show you what might be going right or wrong in front of everybody? I won't yell at you. You can share it later. Okay. Then let me know when you want to, and I will personally go through your journal and tweak it for you so that you get that kind of weight loss. Okay. But you have to have a complete journal. See this? Deborah, with almost ease. See where my hands are? See that mark? Second mark? That's 2 pounds of fat a week. Somebody shout glory. Thank you, Deborah, for that. I appreciate you letting me know. That's 2 pounds. If I lose this much hunk of chunk every week, is that awesome? Now, you won't lose some every day. It falls off in chunks. How many of you know that fat falls off in chunks? You've been with me long enough to know you'll go a few days and it won't be no changing in chunk. Everybody say chunk, chunk. It's actually coming off a little bit every day. But what hides it so that you can't see it is that water fluctuation, water retention fluctuation. So as you're losing fat in ounces, sometimes you'll be holding on to water in pounds. Does that make sense? Now, in order to lose fat, I needed to lose 100 pounds of fat. I wasn't fat, by the way. I was just carrying around a lot of extra energy in the form of fat, calories, stored calories. Every pound of fat contains how many calories, y'all? 3,500 calories. Now think about this. I was over 100 pounds overweight, but let's go with 100. To be 100 pounds overweight, I had to overconsume 350,000 calories. Do you hear that? And you know how many days even then I would go, I'm starving to death. See how I touched and agreed with the enemy? I had overconsumed I'm like my little dog Elvira. She's getting plump. She's a little bitty thing. She's bigger than Henzo. He's lean and mean, but she's just plump. She's over consuming her fair share. She's taken from Henzo. She's taken from Henzo. So I had overeaten by my fair share 350,000 calories and lied to myself every step of the way. The only way to get that off was to operate in a calorie deficit by that amount. God bless you, Joseph. God bless you. I see that, brother. I recognize that. Be praying for you. I'm sorry. Reading that, Julie. Reading that. Y'all decide with me, okay? Decide with me. So we're going to get this fat off, but we've got to follow some rules that allow the body to get rid of that fat, to get rid of those calories. And it's called the Shibboleth Shield for a perfect day. So our lifestyle is comprised of one day at a time, and we're either having a perfect day or we're having a holiday. There's no such thing as an in-between day. When I started this program, this was the magic for me from a physiological standpoint. I started understanding what I had done hormonally to cause me to grow, had caused me to store fat. And when I opened up my Bible after that bad doctor's report that so many of you've heard about, it opened up into this verse. I wish that were cold or hot, but thou art lukewarm, therefore I spew thee out of my mouth. And I knew then with my background, that's what I'm going to do different. There's no such thing as an okay day. There's no such thing here. For example, when we were cutting up with Deborah, let's say that Deborah, she had a journal some days and not other days, but she counted them all perfect. Those aren't perfect days. We're giving you a system. If you weren't already in class, forget me. See, I go live so much. Before long, how many of you feel like we're just brothers and sisters and I'm just old Travis? You know, that happens because I go live so much and we're all so super hyper connected. But take me out of the equation. Take me out of the equation. Pretend I'm not here. And you hear about a program that says we have 6 daily methods that if you follow those daily methods, you will lose up to 44 pounds in less than 6 weeks. These daily methods cost you nothing, and they're easy, and we exclude no food group. How many of you would be so excited you'd wet your britches? Think about that. And we guarantee it, that if you follow those 6 methods daily, we guarantee your success. You just have to follow the easy methods. They cost you nothing. Right? You were already spending money on food, weren't you, Linda? We were all already spending money on food. When I hear somebody say this program costs so much, I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? And then they wind up over somewhere else paying thousands of dollars a month for drugs. Think about it. Cost you nothing. I was going in the grocery store before this program. I was buying bread before this program. I was buying milk before this program. I was buying cereal. We just teach you what to buy. We teach you, by Sheila, we teach you what to get. You're just, the money you spend over here, now we're spending it over here. Still tastes like bread, it still tastes like pasta. But think about that, because if that didn't excite you, that I can give you 6 daily rules that if you'll live and be all in on, that you'll lose 10% of your body weight in your first month, and you don't want that. If that doesn't set you on fire, your wood is so saturated with water that I'm never going to get you out of the funk. Okay? So think about what we have in our hands here. Don't deny God is trying to bless you. You don't need to go spend any money on these ridiculous predatory weight loss programs. You've got other things to spend your money on. How about spending it on a cruise? That's how much money. You're literally throwing away so much money on diet junk that ain't ever going to work. You probably could provide your significant other and you a cruise. So we're going to live one day at a time, like the Bible says, and it's either going to be a perfect day or a holiday, because there's no such thing as an okay day. Now, let's start with what is this holiday? Let's start with what is a holiday. No, ma'am. I had no holidays for 6 weeks. And then I took several days off, took a deep breath, and went on to lose 100 pounds having holidays. Okay. What is a holiday? If I go to the buffet for lunch and I eat and I eat and I talk and I eat, and before I know it, it's dinner time, and I stay there and I eat dinner at the buffet too until it's coming out my nose and my ears. Is that just one holiday, and is that allowed? Yes. It's just a day. Enjoy life. Enjoy it. Have a ball with it. What about this? If I so much as lick the cheese dust off a Dorito, what kind of day is that? Still a perfect day? No, it's a holiday. Because after the lick goes the crunch, after the crunch goes the bag. We are dealing with food addiction. What do you do with an alcoholic? At least we don't have to quit everything that we ate before. But an alcoholic, you can't say, yeah, you can have one glass, you'll be okay. On that day that you're trying to do right, if you lick the cheese dust, now, had I rather you have small holidays and not hog trough days? Yeah. But I want you to know there's grace. And as long as you don't go above 6 holidays a month, you're going to lose body fat fast by anybody's reasonable standards if all your other days are perfect days. Once you get into maintenance, how many holidays can you have? 12. 12 holidays. That's almost half your month. In other words, I could be all in on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, take off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then start back again Monday. My weight loss chart, my weight would go down. On the weekend, it would go up. I get back on Monday, it goes down again. It's a lifestyle. It's just a lifestyle. So all your other days, in order to have these kind of results, have to be truly perfect. They can't be willy-nilly. So we'll start talking about them before today's class is over. Each day, you must drink your water, a half a gallon up to a gallon of water per day. You can have other beverages. I'm having some now. But they're approved. They don't spike my insulin. You must journal. If you bite it, you write it, you hog it, you log it. You've seen that play out earlier. I can help anybody that feels like they hit a plateau as long as they're journaling, but I can't help you. I've gotten fussed out more about this probably than almost anything else. And that is, will you help me? I've hit a plateau. And I'm like, can't help you, ain't journaling. Well, I know what I ate. No, you don't. I promise you don't. If you're not writing it down, I take a picture with my phone of every drink, every food, everything. So at the end of the day, I can take the time to put it in my online journal. Next, food combinations. Why do we have to learn how to eat the right combination? Why did, before this program, eating a peanut butter sandwich caused me to gain weight, but now I lose weight? The insulin, right. So before, I would have white bread with peanut butter. White bread caused my blood sugar to go up, my pancreas to release the fat bus. The peanut butter had fat in it, and it's a fat storage hormone. By switching my bread to Shibboleth approved breads at the grocery store, then I can keep that insulin impact down. You cannot lose body fat when insulin levels are high. And we all have off the chart insulin levels if we don't have a program like this. This is your entire situation. You're not a pig. You're not a glutton. Nobody's taught you about controlling hormones especially the hormone insulin, through food, not through medication. This is more powerful than medication. Do y'all hear me? Your pain can end, your suffering can end today with a decision. Next, we learn food combinations. Next, portions. Now, there's several ways to do our portions. Some of us don't even feel like we need 3 meals anymore. But we're allowed up to 3 eating episodes a day. Up to 3. If you have moments of mental weakness, then there's Shibboleth approved snacks and freebies, but you won't lose body fat as fast. We want to end the grazing. Every time I eat a meal with calories, I set my phone timer. And until it goes past, if I'm doing 3 meals a day, until it goes past 6 hours, I'm not eating. It's how it is. I'm not starving. Look in the mirror. So, number 1, you can have up to 3 eating episodes, and that's the best way. Breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, dinner for the Holy Spirit. If you need other episodes, we've got to make sure that they control insulin. This is the kind of stuff that we're going to be teaching this week. And you have to control the episode, the meal episode. We use a 2-hand rule, put over our whole food combination, or if it's a meal replacement and it's approved, it's going to be in the perfect serving in the wrapper. I always follow the food library description. Then you have timing. We want you to get in at least a 12-hour fast a day. I would rather you get 16 hours and have an 8-hour eating window, but for starters, let's just choose 12 hours. Or spread your eating episodes out 4 to 6 hours, however you prefer to think about it. And then lastly, we move forward with an attitude of gratitude. Now, I'm going to show you what I need you to start doing if you're new here. It's all on the website. My job is to try to explain it, answer your questions, all of that good stuff, okay? If you are a new member, you won't have all of this stuff. When you log in, you'll see the fast track course, okay? It'll probably be up here in the corner, and you'll click it and go to your fast track course. You'll have laps. You won't have this many laps because you're a free member. So you have a few laps to get you started so things begin right in your journey. And then I want you to go to fast track videos. Fast track videos. These are short, 4 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. These are really short. I want you to go through Kim Dankey's fast track. And Thursday, we're going to take test, pass test, and earn the badge. So see this, you've got a food combination topic. You've got details on portion control. That's what I need you to do. If you want to start looking at the food library, you can go into the food library. This is only the beginner food library. And I want you to heart all of your favorite foods is in the beginner library. There's maybe 100 times more foods in the big library, but this is plenty for anybody to get started, not only get started, live the rest of their life with. So we've just given it all away because we want to touch you. We want your life to be changed. And you need to start going through those videos and hearting the foods you like so that we can teach you some food combining later this week. We won't spend quite as much time on trying to get the mind right in the coming days. It will be more about detailed instruction on how foods break down in your body, how to eat grilled cheese, how to eat a peanut butter sandwich, how to eat spaghetti, how to eat out. All of these things, we give you a lifestyle that if you live with, you'll quickly find that Shibboleth is not a lifestyle that you can ever live without because it's different. The people are different. It's all different. Okay? Any questions for me before I go? Can you look at a journal on paper or just on the app? I don't prefer to do it on paper because I have thousands of members and it's just impossible for me to keep up with and keep the program cost almost zero. So I prefer that you put it in your electronic journal. Now, if you prefer to journal on paper, that's fine. Maybe you can jump on here one day and share it with us and go through it that way. but I prefer people to journal online so that I can help. It's just a very small team helping thousands of people, and we try to keep everybody doing the same thing. Any questions or comments? Thank you for understanding. But I'll take paper if you won't do online. Journaling, so critical. Yes, I will. Here's my email. If you need me, always give me time. Again, I really struggle. That's why I go, we've given our lives to this, and we only say all this not to brag on ourselves, but sometimes people get wounded with me because I haven't returned an email, but I get thousands upon thousands, and most of them are not the ones I want to read either. So please forgive me if I don't get to. That's why I go live twice a day, but I'll do my best to read it and share my thoughts with you as soon as I can. We need more partners to help us. This little program, it needs partners. We've literally got 45,000 people a month logging into our website, and we have 130 beautiful partners that help us. And we so desperately need more to keep doing what we're doing. By the way, before we go, if you're interested, if you're hearing the call of God to help us to go in the vineyard and go to work, we will have more training today. By the way, did my influencers and wellness company folks, did y'all enjoy the train wreck training that went on last week? Was it helpful? We're going to do it again this week, everybody. I'm trying to get a schedule pinned down for you all so that you can count on it. I've been having to go, as y'all know, as soon as I can get a moment. And then we're spending lots of time in training. But I'm listening to y'all. I'm trying to figure out how I equip y'all to be a really meaningful part of Shibboleth, because I believe you felt the call. And you feel as much like it's yours as I feel it is me. And we need you because there's so many hurting people out there, y'all. And let me close with this today. If there's no questions, I'll get ready to close. One of the reasons, like you've got Noom app, you've got all these new technologies coming out. But one of the reasons that those programs, they sign up millions of people, but their success rate is horrible, is because they don't educate, and you don't have this. Meaningful change is one heart teaching to another heart. And this is why I need so many influencers to help us, to promote us. And I know that you'll be blessed if you do that. Can I have low-fat cottage cheese and pair it with a meal? Let's talk about that. Everybody, make sure you're set to everyone when you post this so that Barbara can see it. What category is low-fat cottage cheese? Thank you, Linda. Category 1. So let's talk. I'm going to do true or false. She wants low-fat cottage cheese. True or false? I can have low-fat cottage cheese with a palm full of berries on top. True. True or false? I can have low-fat cottage cheese with 1/4 of sliced banana on top. That's condiment. True or false? I can have low-fat cottage cheese with cinnamon along with a egg white spinach omelet. Look at Melanie. She's getting it. Melanie, I remember a few weeks ago, you wouldn't have known that. I'm proud of you. Great job, sis. Good job. Next, I could have a half of a Shibboleth approved sandwich with a 1 and 2 and a half a serving of low-fat cottage cheese. Yep. So those are, I hope that answers your questions. Many ways to have low-fat cottage cheese. What category, folks, is a category of full-fat cottage cheese? Can we have it? Category 4. Category 4. We can still have it in all those ways that I just talked about. So long as it's not with a category 3 or a full portion of category 5. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Deborah. You better not have, but thank you. Nobody will ever have any idea. We are learning to have faith in the Lord. And we love y'all. Love you so much. But by the way, hey, you know who you are. You didn't send it to the one Travis Martin needs money, did you? Because that ain't me. Oh, no. Somebody told me there's a Travis Martin shyster out there, so be careful. Yeah, I'm not the one who's ever going to say Travis needs money or wants money on Venmo, so y'all be careful. But we appreciate your tips and support and help. Love y'all so much. Oh, good, good. Well, be careful too. I'm glad she said it had my picture. Y'all, there's a lot of bad stuff going on. So y'all always check with us if there's anything that y'all feel is off. People are using my picture out there. Y'all, they've taken influencers and artificial intelligence is turning it into bots. And this has already happened to me. Y'all make sure you're talking to me, okay? Scary time, isn't it? Good deal. Deborah made sure. Good deal. I figured you did. You smart. We're going to need one another more than ever. Did everybody get something out of this today? Tomorrow we're going to speed up and we'll start talking the food categories and how food breaks down in our body. Hope our new folks will come back. Let me ask this before I post it. We're getting ready to do a 10-day detox challenge. Do I have people interested in the 10-day detox where we'll be using clean recipes and fruit? Going to get to eat quite a bit of fruit. A lot of plant-based foods, non-toxic plants. Okay, y'all be on the lookout for that. I'll try to announce that today. Chris Lamb, hey. Supplements are never required, Buffy. You can do what you will with the information, but I do try to get people to take the supplements so that we can rid the body of toxins. Otherwise, the difference is you would need to do this protocol much longer than 10 days to get really a detox out of it. But I've never made supplements mandatory. In fact, even though it drives me crazy when people don't want to take them, that's why we have a free program in part, is so that people can afford the food that they need. And, but no, I will never have a program where supplements are mandatory, because I know that I can still help you even if you don't want to do everything that you need to do for your health. Does that make sense? Yes, Lauren, I will be definitely using that detox kit, but please tune into orientation because we're doing a really strict detox with our food. All right, y'all. I've enjoyed having you in class, and we will be in touch. I'm excited for you. Can't wait to hear your testimony. See you tomorrow or tonight. I will be back live tonight at 8 p.m. to support those that need the support. What vitamins do I recommend? Because of the position I'm in, I can only talk about a few brands, because I also have athletes that I work with. And if they get popped on a drug test, I'm in trouble. So I only will talk about brands that are tested and well researched. And there's a tier depending on budget. The best supplementation, the best overall package on the planet Earth, bar none, dare anybody to put theirs against it, it won't stand up. Doesn't mean yours isn't good, but the very best is Peak Performance Total Health. There's nothing else like it on planet Earth. Everybody that's consistent on it, they have a 90-day guarantee, for crying out loud. Everybody that's been on it, they can feel the changes happening. It's amazing. And a lot of it is because of Oligo. It's because of their mineral absorption technology. Most supplementation you do not absorb. You do absorb this. And that is the difference maker. It's just like their collagen. Because you absorb that peptide sequence, your body begins to produce more collagen. So the stuff that we're talking about, no one can compete. But let's say that you're looking for something more run of the mill, but still good. You could do ours that we created. Awesome Vitamin. It's a 90-day supply, one a day. It's pretty packed. Much better than anything you can find at brick and mortar retail. And then we have Advocare's got some great stuff. Onnit has some great stuff. Thorne has some great stuff. Beverly. Those are the only brands. I don't know if anybody'd be interested in a class of me teaching on each brand and what their supplements do for you. They're all a little different, but those are the brands that I trust and the only brands that I trust. I mean, they're redundant, but they're the only brands that I trust. I agree, Chris. I do too. 21 days in on Peak Performance, Chris feels better. Of course, I want you to come, Charles. You know that. I hope you're feeling better. Charles has had COVID. Of course, you can come tonight. Anybody can come tonight. We wish y'all bring people with you. See our little family grow. The more of us that do this and take part in this movement, the easier it is to do it. The more people that do it. All right, y'all. We love you in the Lord. I'm going to go get ready for my influencer training and update them on where everything's at. Had a good weekend, tested a lot of stuff, and we're going to try to keep moving it forward today. So God bless y'all, and we'll talk soon.